Coming up, we've got stories to fill you in on what's been going on around Trinity for the past few weeks,
along with coverage on Monday's solar eclipse.
All this and more right now on Newswave. Good afternoon and welcome back to Newswave. Today is Friday, April 12th. I'm Luke McCauley.
And I'm Caleb Reed.
The Student Board Spring Concert Series made a triumphant return with headliner Bryce Vine and opener Hoodie Allen taking the stage at Prowl Salon. On March 22nd, a crowd of 330 students gathered, making the revival of this cherished event after a hiatus of over 2 years, aligning with SVB's commitment to offering free entertainment to the student body. Doors swung open at 6:00 p.m., allowing ample time for attendees to grab refreshments and settle into Prowl Salon. Despite the promising start, initial attendance was underwhelming until the concert commenced. In fact, a few students departed upon witnessing the sparse turnout. Nevertheless, for many, the opportunity to enjoy a complimentary concert was a cause for celebration. Dating back to mid-June, Bryce Vine was chosen to headline the Student Programming Board's event, with logistical details still pending. In September 2023, Samaj Chahad joined as SBB staff advisor, spearheading planning efforts and securing Hoodie Allen as the opening act. The concert marked a triumphant return after a 2.5-year hiatus, with Chahad expressing excitement for future iterations. With comprehensive support from Trinity University Police, paramedics, dining services, and rentals, the event brought together the community with some music and fun.
In more campus news, at the end of March, Trinity University hosted a forum conversation to prepare the community for the 38th annual Cesar Chavez March for Justice. The conversation included Millie Trevino Salceda, the executive director of the National Alliance of Female Farm Workers, and Erica Prosper Nuremberg, the First Lady of San Antonio and the co-founder of the Latina Leadership Institute. Their conversation was moderated by Professor Norma Cantu of the Modern Languages and Literature Department, who emphasized her excitement about providing on-campus opportunities to connect with experts on social issues. The conversation was designed to honor the legacies of migrant labor advocates like Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, and covered topics like the pathway to citizenship for migrant workers and gender-based violence in the workplace. The Cesar Chavez March for Justice took place in the inner west side of San Antonio on March 23rd. In attendance was Trinity University's President Vanessa Beasley and Vice President of Student Affairs Andrew Wells, who were accompanied by some of Trinity's upward bound seniors. The conversation and the march were well attended by the Trinity community, and Dania Abreu Torres, the director of the MOS program, is looking forward to more student participation next year.
On Friday, April 5th, Trinity University announced the recipient of 51 Student Leadership Awards. The awards were presented in a ceremony in Corbell Hall, celebrate students' character, hard work, and success for their time at Trinity. The awards honored students for their actions both on and off campus, as well as their work of being leaders in the Trinity community. The awards covered a wide range of topics, varying from the Diversity and Inclusion Award to the Emerging Student Leaders Award and the Heart of Trinity Service Award, just to name a few. The very next day, on Saturday, April 6th, Trinity doubled the celebration with its annual Student Honors Convocation. In the ceremony, over 100 Trinity students were honored in the Parker Chapel for their commitment to academic excellence. Newswave would like to congratulate all award recipients, and the full list of awards and recipients can be found on the Trinity University website.
Last month, Trinity University hosted a Zambia sports diplomacy delegation that saw Trinity professors Jacob Tingle, Brandon Crooms, and Angela Brendenstein working with alumni Emily Ellis and graduate student Yvette Pena to discuss leadership and backward programs with guests. These guests featured 10 basketball players and coaches who came all the way from Zambia to participate in a 10-day program centered on developing leadership through sports and the importance of prioritizing mental health for players and coaches. The delegation resulted in many meaningful conversations, including Dr. Crooms highlighting the importance of purpose-driven leadership in sports, emphasizing the power of personal storytelling as well. In his own words, Dr. Crooms said, quote, "I was truly inspired by hearing the personal narratives and stories of each coach and how certain pivotal moments in their lives influence them to be multifaceted individuals that use sport to impact their community." The Zambian delegation is followed by a spring break trip where Dr. Tingle and Dr. Brendan Stein will travel to North Macedonia and the exchange of Macedonian volleyball coaches to Trinity in the summer through the sports leadership program.
Still up ahead, we've got info on a new fast food option opening right around the block from campus.
And information on when and how to celebrate Fiesta 2024.
Stick around. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Welcome back to Newswave. San Antonio is getting a new fast food restaurant at the end of the month. And luckily for Trinity students, it is coming in just around the corner. P. Terry's Burger Stand, the Austin-based burger chain, has steadily spread its influence to San Antonio since 2021. And its fourth location is currently under construction. Replacing the now closed King's Palace Chinese restaurant, P. Terry's received approval to open its newest location on Broadway Avenue. Just across the street from Brackenridge Park, the new P. Terry's will offer both drive-through and sit-in dining options just minutes from Trinity campus. According to the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, P. Terry's current estimated completion date is April 30th, less than a month away. Although the grand opening may not come before the end of the school year, returning Tigers have a close, quick, and affordable fast food option to look forward to for next fall.
Now, for some information on the eclipse and what to expect weather-wise for next week, here is Newswave's Chief Meteorologist Luke Morton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Newswave is back from a brief hiatus, and we are looking forward to sharing these last few episodes of the year with you. I hope you all got a chance to get outside and experience the eclipse that happened this past Monday. Although it was a pretty cloudy day, I think it was so cool to see the sky get completely dark in the middle of the afternoon. I hope you all enjoyed this eclipse because the next one in the United States won't happen until 2044, and the next eclipse in Texas won't be until 2078. It just goes to show how lucky we were to have a total solar eclipse right here in San Antonio. And we all experienced something that not many people will get to experience. Anyways, let's now turn to the weather. Tuesday night was a bit loud with a solid line of thunderstorms reaching San Antonio, but the rest of this week looks gorgeous. This weekend looks to be quite nice. Saturday looks to see mostly sunny skies with highs in the mid-80s and lows in the mid-60s. Sunday looks to be similar, a bit more cloud cover with similar highs and lows as Saturday. Next week, we will see the heat really turn up with highs getting close to 90 for at least the beginning of the week. After about Wednesday or so, we should see a pretty strong cool front pass through our area that will allow our temperatures to be extremely nice for April. We are looking at highs for the 60s for next weekend, but that is not set in stone yet. Summer is just around the corner, which unfortunately means it's going to be pretty hot within the next month or so, so please try and enjoy this beautiful weather these next couple weeks if you can. Anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all next week.
For many, April 8th was their first experience of a solar eclipse. That was not the case for Laverne Beiser, a 105-year-old resident of Fort Worth, Texas. Beiser has witnessed 11 different eclipses before last Monday, most of them along with his late wife, Marion. Beiser was always fascinated by the stars growing up in Ohio in the 1920s, and his interest grew during his high school astronomy class, where he later worked in the aerospace industry. He decided to become an umbrophile, the term for a person who chases eclipses, after his first one in 1963, saying, quote, "You see one, you want to see them all, and will do everything you can to see them." Beiser planned to view the most recent eclipse from Plano, citing its location near the center of the path of totality. After all these years, he still has the same passion for watching eclipses, and he recommends them for everyone, saying, quote, "They are so beautiful."
2024, Texas implemented an Anti-Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, also known as DEI, bill. The University of Texas, Austin has been heavily impacted by this. According to the Division of Campus and Community Engagement's website, UT Austin has laid off around 60 employees in order to comply with this bill, 40 of whom worked in the department that, quote, provided support and resources for those who may face the most significant challenges in assessing education.
A season of celebration is soon to fill the San Antonio community. Fiesta, a traditional event in the Alamo City, will begin on April 18th and will last through April 28th. MySA announces that, quote, Fiesta started in 1891 with the first Battle of the Flowers parade that honored those who fought for Texas at the Battle of the Alamo, as well as the Battle of San Jacinto. This colorful festival is the second largest tradition in the country, with different activities, food, entertainment, and the special Fiesta medals. As in previous years, these celebrations will serve a noble purpose, with earnings being used to fund scholarships, community organizations, and other charitable causes. There are a variety of fun events to explore, such as the Battle of the Flowers Parade, Oyster Bake, Niosa, and more. There will be there will even be the crowning of the Rey Feo, the People's King, and Queen, who are part of the Fiesta royalty. If you are lucky, you might even receive a free medal from a Fiesta Royal. Before heading out, make sure to check the weather, as a lot of events will take place outside. There is more information available at fiestasanantonio.org. There are so many fun events to enjoy, so we here at Newswave hope that everyone has a safe and fun Fiesta.
Still after the break, we've got coverage on a missing dog's year-long journey across the United States and the consequences of a special counsel interview with President Joe Biden. Stick around. Newswave will be right back.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As the world prepared for the eclipse that happened on Monday, scientists revisited the unexpected behaviors by animals during the 2017 eclipse. From South Carolina's Riverbank Zoo to the states of Oregon, Idaho, and Missouri, animals displayed intriguing reactions to the celestial event. Adam Artstone Rose, a scientist at Riverbank Zoo, initially anticipated indifference from the zoo's inhabitants. However, he was astonished by the bustling atmosphere, stating, quote, "The zoo was bonkers that day. There were thousands of people. Everybody was excited. More than 3/4 of the observed animals showed discernible reactions to the eclipse, ranging from normalcy to anxiety. While some creatures, like grizzly bears, remained nonchalant, others exhibited peculiar behaviors. Nocturnal birds, for instance, were confused by the sudden darkness, while giraffes showed the signs of distress similar to wild behavior. One of the most remarkable observations came from the Galapagos giant tortoises, typically sedentary animals. Harnstone Rose noted their increased activity, including spontaneous mating during the eclipse. Beyond zoo environments, scientists utilized data from weather stations across the USA to study broader trends. These stations revealed a decrease in bird activity leading up to the eclipse, suggesting a misunderstanding of the event as an approaching storm. However, interpreting animal responses during eclipses poses challenges. Emma Brindley Berkeley from the University of Nebraska noted the diverse reactions observed by different birds. Initiatives like the Solar Eclipse Safari Project aim to expand observations beyond zoos to include farm animals and pets. Preliminary data from past eclipses suggest that animal behavior during such events can provide insights into human-induced disturbances. We here at Newswave hope you enjoyed the solar eclipse and created memories that last a lifetime.
This past week, a family had a positive reaction with their dog Mishka after what seemed to be a quite lengthy journey. According to CNN, last year in July 2023, the Howman family's dog went missing in California. Now, after 8 months, a resident located in Michigan reported a stray dog in the neighborhood. The dog was taken to Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society and checked out by a vet who discovered a microchip on the dog. Almost 2,300 miles away from her original home, the dog dad, Murad Howman, drove 10 hours to reclaim their family dog. In the process of an unfortunate event, the Howman family and Mishka are now reunited, making this story quite the tale.
This week, the Justice Department rejected 2 Republican-led committee requests to release a recording of former special counsel Robert Hur's interview with Joe Biden. The Justice Department explained the request was rejected because the committee did not give a, quote, investigative purpose. According to CBS News, the Justice Department also accused the committee of, quote, seeking conflict for conflict's sake. The interviews were of interest to the committee because Robert Hur previously investigated President Biden for mishandling classified documents. In his report, Hur criticized Biden's handling of documents while also questioning the president's memory. However, he concluded that no criminal charges should be pressed. Republicans in Congress, unhappy the audio of these interviews was not released, protested the decision. A statement made by the House Oversight Committee expressed that, quote, the Biden administration does not get to determine what Congress needs and does not need for its oversight of the executive branch. Despite these grumblings, the recording will remain unavailable to the general public. As this story develops, Newswave will be sure to keep you updated.
In recent national news, O.J. Simpson, former NFL star and defendant in perhaps the most publicized murder trial in American history, passed away yesterday at the age of 76. According to a social media release from his family, Simpson, quote, succumbed to his battle with cancer on the morning of April 10th. Simpson's death came 2 months after his prostate cancer diagnosis was made public, and the former Hall of Famer had been receiving chemotherapy during this time. Simpson was a generational athlete, having won the 1968 Heisman Trophy at the University of Southern California, and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame for his success in the NFL. After his retirement, Simpson became perhaps the most controversial American of the late 1990s after he was charged with the murder of his former wife and her friend. The trial held national attention for nearly 9 months as America's obsession with celebrity collided with centuries of social pressures, including racism, class, and policing in the criminal justice system. The so-called trial of the century ended when the jury returned with a not guilty verdict on behalf of the football star. Despite his controversial historical legacy, we would like to wish the Simpson family rest in peace at the end of his battle with cancer.
Still coming up, we've got the top international headlines along with your weekly sports update. Newswave will be right back after this short message.
Get a life in which you're generous. Realize that life is the best thing ever and that you have no business taking it for granted. Care so deeply about its goodness that you want to spread it around. Once in a while, work in a soup kitchen. Be a big brother or a big sister. All of us want to do well, but if we do not do good too, then doing well will never be enough.
According to CBSNews.com, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Chinese Premier Li Qiang expressed optimism about bilateral relations during their meeting in Beijing. Yellen emphasized the necessity of direct and open communication for progress, echoing sentiments from the Woodside Summit. Discussions included achieving a level playing field for workers and businesses and addressing Chinese industrial overcapacity's impact. Li welcomed partnership over adversity, noting Chinese public interest in enhancing Chinese-U.S. ties. Yellen's visit, her second within a year, underscores efforts to establish the relationship. She said, quote, "As the world's two largest economies, we have a duty to our own countries and to the world to responsibly manage our complex relationship and to cooperate and show leadership on addressing pressing global challenges." Up now, Newswave sports editor Caleb Reed has your weekly sports update.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to sports. My name is Caleb Reed, and let's get right into it. Following a series sweep against the Austin College Roos, Trinity University softball wraps up their home season today and tomorrow as they face the Southwestern Pirates in 3 games this weekend. This will be the final time to see key figures for the team like Marina De La Luna and Diamond Elizondo take the field, as well as Dawson Debussy, who has missed the season with a thumb injury. Senior weekend begins tonight as the 22-9 Tigers take on the 10-21 Pirates, with 1 game tonight at 7 and then 2 games tomorrow at noon and 2 in the afternoon. Tiger baseball will also be here at home this weekend for a 3-game series against conference rival TLU, which will be a battle between a top-tier Trinity team sitting at 22-7 on the season. Trinity won their last 3-game series against Austin in a sweep, winning an additional game against McMurray on Tuesday by an impressive 20-8 margin. Meanwhile, over in professional sports, the Texas Rangers have gotten out to a hot start in their World Series defense, opening the season with a 7-5 record here in 2024. Texas stands atop the AL West to start the year, with the Angels just behind them. The Astros, on the other hand, got off to a terrible start, being swept by the Yankees to open the year and then lost 2 of the opening games of the series against Texas. The team now sits at 4-9 at the bottom of the division, which wasn't helped by a 2-game skid against the Royals.
Years ago, on April 6, 1994, the country of Rwanda was shattered by a massacre that killed nearly 800,000 people. This genocide was spurred by extremists from the Hutu ethnic group, in which they killed members of the Tutsi group and Hutu moderates in a 100-day killing spree. Now, President Paul Kagame addresses and remembers the alongside dignitaries and fellow world leaders. Kagame thanked other African countries who accepted refugees during the massacre, like Uganda, Ethiopia, and Tanzania. The main issue of the tragic event was the failure of other nations to intervene, something that former U.S. President Bill Clinton claims was the biggest failure of his administration. Kagame addressed the issue, stating, quote, "These soldiers do not fail Rwanda. It was the international community which failed all of us, whether from contempt or cowardice. France also failed to intervene during the genocide, even though they were a close ally of the government prior to the killings." The gathering of world leaders marked the beginning of a week-long mourning period in Rwanda, and residents have closed down stores and limited activity in remembrance of the event. In the 30 years since the genocide, the issue still remains a sensitive topic, and it is still illegal in the country to discuss one's ethnicity to prevent an issue like the massacre from happening again.
Now, in international news, Israel has withdrawn its troops from the south of Han Yunis in southern Gaza. Government officials say the move was made to reallocate troops to Rafah, a Hamas stronghold. According to the Associated Press, the withdrawal of the troops represents a milestone in the war. However, there is growing concern over what an offensive on Rafah could mean. The city currently holds 1.4 million people, which is nearly half of Gaza's total population. The potential for catastrophe has nations around the world worried, including the United States, who demanded to see Israel's plan to protect civilians. Israel has also continued to carry out airstrikes in areas that they have pulled troops from, saying that they are targeting areas where Hamas has resurfaced, including Gaza's largest hospital. The people of Israel are also growing frustrated with the conflict as protests calling for a hostage deal continue in the country. As the war in Gaza continues and the situation develops, Newswave will be sure to keep you updated.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you back here at the same time next Friday, April 19th. Until then, I'm Caleb Reed.
And I'm Luke McCauley. See you next week.